think we can see each other now. I hope that after today, it will be easy for me to do live again because I am struggling. Right, so I have to start right away. My name is Enyonam Manye. I'm the host of the Ghanaian Farmer on Joy Prime. And what Ghanaian Farmer seeks to do is to bring to your doorstep farming or agriculture in Ghana, the right practices, the crops, the livestock, anything that you can invest into when it comes to agriculture related product, being it agro business or strictly farming. Today I have got a couple of questions I just want to give quick answers to, and then if there's any question you want to ask me, we'll proceed to take care of that. So I have got people coming to my inbox after each interview and asking me, Enyonam, if we want to acquire a land in Ghana and start farming, what's the process? How do we go about it? What do we have to do? It's very simple. Land in Ghana or lands in Ghana are owned by two major people, or three people if I should say. We have land for government. Those lands are solely for government properties, let's say for development. So that one, it's not be leased to any individual. Then we have lands that are owned by the chiefs, and it's also, we have another land that is owned by families, like say 2-3 families, but they have delegated one person. In Ghana, we call that person Ebusia Penyin to be in charge. So now, in this two, among these two people, if you happen to acquire land, let's say somewhere in the eastern region, Asamankesi, for instance, and the land happens to be for a chief, you need to first of all do your background checks. So you have to find out if the land has already been leased out to somebody, if somebody has paid outrightly for the land, if someone is already farming on the land, or if there has been any farming practices done on that particular land, and also how much is going for, and is it being sold outrightly, or perhaps it is just going for a lease. So when you make all these checks, you want to make a follow-up to a department within the local municipality or the district level. There is this department we call the stool department. They have all the right documentation. They will give you all the right information that don't buy this land. It has been sold to Mr. Kofi, or it's been sold for Auntie AC, so don't buy it. Don't make any payments. Look for another land and come and make your checks. When you go to the stool department in all these districts and you make the checks, if the land is available, if the land is not already being sold to anybody, they will let you know. And then you can go ahead, see the chief, let him do an MOU or give you a receipt. You should also go with a witness. So when the witness sign, you would sign, the chief will sign. The chief must also have a witness. You would also get the witness of the chief to sign. And then after that, you proceed to the lands or the stool department to go and make your payment. Now, I'm told that it's somewhere between 200 and then 500. So when you make the payment, they will give you a receipt. Aside what you get from the chief, they also give you a receipt from the stool department. So you keep that. And then when you start farming and anybody comes around to argue with you that this land is mine, you have such documents to back your claim that I have fully paid for this land and it doesn't belong to you. Another thing you also have to consider is that if the land you got belongs to families, at times we have 2, 3, 5 families who own the land, you have to make sure that before you make payments to this land, you have to make sure that you meet all the families involved, or maybe the heads of all these families. If there's 3 of them, insist you meet all the 3. Let them agree that indeed we are ready to lease the land for you to go ahead and start your farming. But if you don't meet all of them and you pay to just one person, I can assure you that you'll be summoned to repay or to pay to another person again, and be the process, which is not good for you as a business person. So what you want to do is that when you get a land, in case you call me or you meet anybody, a friend or a family in Ghana, and you tell them, I want a land to start farming, and they go and make inquiries and the land happens to be for families, ask how many families own the land. If there's two of them, I want to meet all the two families. If I want to meet all the three of them. Now, when you meet them and you ask, I want to lease your land, they will still ask for the duration, what you want to cultivate on the land. When you tell them all this necessary information, then you can proceed and go to the stool department, in the district, and make another check there. If the land is indeed free, if it is not owned by anybody, they will tell you. So make sure that Ofori, you're asking how royalties are structured after acquiring the land. So I'll tell you that. I'll answer that in a bit. So make sure that when you meet all the families and you make the payments, then you can go to the stool department again, do the registration over there. Let them give you a certificate, or let's say a receipt to that effect. Then you can now proceed to plow the land and then, start your cultivation or start your planting. It is as easy as ABCD. There is no struggle about this. There's nothing anybody would have to argue about. Now, Ofori, you were asking about royalties, how it is structured. So one thing that you have to know is that if you happen to buy the land from the families, there is a commission or a royalty you have to pay to the chief of the community or the chief of that town. The chief is the overall, landlord. So whether you buy it from even families, you will still have to be led by these families to go and see the chief and then pay some form of royalties to the chief. Because if you don't do that, you can be on the land and then they will send some land guards to come and stop you from working or to come and demand certain things from you. So it is always best that even if you buy from family members, you will still go ahead, ask for the chief of the community. Go and introduce yourself. Go and discuss your intentions. Tell them what you're about to do and how it's going to create job for the young people in the community. And you are here to pay homage. So maybe you take some a bottle of schnapps or something, whiskey, and then you'd also add some token and then show appreciation to the chief so that the chief knows you. And if any of the community members want to come and attack you on the land, you would be able to run to the chief and then he will come to your rescue. So those are the two things you have to know. It's either the land is owned by the chief or it is owned by families. Make sure after speaking or meeting these people, you go to the stool department, cross-check, make registration. The registration is between 200 and 500. Make your registration, make the payments, take the receipts. Make sure everybody who signs, there is a witness to that, so that there will not be any problem. Hello, greetings to you too. Warrior, spear warrior, greetings to you too. Now, there's one thing you need to know. Here in Ghana, we have two seasons. So we have the minor season and the major season. As we are speaking, most or majority of farmers around the region are all preparing their land. I mean, plowing the land. Those who are using cow down are going to the livestock farmers to buy the cow down to go and mix it with the land after clearing the woods or the trees. Mix it with it. Maybe wait for a rainfall. If you have irrigation, then you have to water the whole place after mixing it. Wait for a while before you start your planting. But in the northern region, there is only one season. Yes, I got to discover that recently when I traveled to the northern region. There is only one season, and that season starts from April all the way to October. That is where their season is. But the rest of the region, it is two seasons, the major season and a minor season. You also have to know that after you have acquired your land and you want to start building, it is not everything that you plant in. Hello, Christiana Chogbe. Yes. Christian, I'll answer your question. After you have acquired your land, plowed the land, and you're ready to plant, it is not everything that you plant in the eastern region, let's say Koforidua, that you can also plant in Tamale. People assume. So just recently I got a phone call from somebody who is in London, and he got a land in BA, Bronga region, and he said he got some how do I call it, wrong advice, cultivated some crops that didn't do well. Please, if you are not in Ghana, you are in any part of the European country or West African country, you want to come to Ghana to start farming, make sure you do your checks. It doesn't cost so much to get a consultant to help you. All the regions, there are some things that you can cultivate in common. So let's use the eastern region, or Adan. Adan falls under Accra. Let's use the eastern region. Let's use the eastern region or the Volta region. In the eastern region, you can cultivate pawpaw, you can cultivate pineapple, you can cultivate watermelon, you can cultivate vegetables, you can cultivate cocoa as well. Now, you can cultivate vegetables also in Volta region. You can cultivate cereals, rice, aveima. You can cultivate rice in the Volta region. You can also cultivate okra. You can cultivate garden eggs, maize, and a few things. Now, when you go to the northern region, it is largely livestock. So the goat, the cow, the poultry. They also do fish pond. Yes, I've seen some fish pond when I went there. Agro processing. So you will see, let's say, shea butter processing, for instance, they do it there. It's heavily done there. You cannot cultivate cocoa. Okay, so there are some things that you cannot cultivate in all the regions. When you want coffee, you can go somewhere around the Sunyani, the western region thereabouts. Coffee is done over there. Cashew is done somewhere around those areas. So make sure you also know about what crops or livestock can be cultivated in any region you have your land. Don't just acquire a land and then start planting any crop. It might not yield well. It might not do well. So you want to put that into consideration. Also, recently I did an interview on alligator pepper. Alligator pepper is cultivated largely in the eastern region. So if you want to cultivate alligator pepper, you have to look for a forest area where there is rainfall. It comes very often, so that you can do your alligator pepper over there. One thing you also want to consider is that laborers, people who work on the farm for you, placing laborers to work on your farm is a bit of challenge. Even though in Ghana we complain so much about we don't have employment, we don't have job. So Christoph, you said, so is it basically the same for a foreigner to acquire land? Oh no, your question went off quickly, so if you can bring it back. So mostly we are in Ghana, but our laborers come from Burkina Faso. Yes, Burkina Faso. Most of the laborers we have in the various farms, they are from Burkina Faso. So you have to make sure that when you acquire the land, you will not plow everything specifically for farming. You need to get a farmhouse. Yes, so look into who owns the land, government chief family. Then ask how long you can rent it and double check. So I said that chiefs owns some portion of the land, family members, okay? Some family members also own some portion of lands or parcel of land in the country, and then government lands are not leased for farming. Take that into consideration. Government lands are solely for developmental projects, like their offices, for instance. Okay, structures to run business or operation for government. So don't even go to lands that are owned by government. So you want to play between the chiefs and then the families, chiefs and families, chiefs and families. It is either it is owned by a chief or it is owned by a family. It can be one family or it can be families, that is three or more, or two or more families. So that's what you need to know, please. And when it comes to the renting, you can rent as long as 50 years, 20 years, 30 years, 10 years, 5 years, or even 100 years. It depends on your negotiation power or your budget. If you have money and you can lease the land for 50 years, so the least amounts I have heard farmers talk about is that it depends on every area. So don't use that to do your budget, I beg you. I have had some farmers say some of the land can be leased a whole year for 300 cities. Okay, I've heard that in Adan. I've heard that in the eastern region as well. I've also heard that somewhere in the central region. Okay, so the least amount I have heard is between 300 cities. How is the department spelled out? How much does the leasing cost on average? So yes, that's what I'm saying, that the average costs I have heard from farmers themselves is that it's between 300 cedis and above. Adam, for instance, they have, yes, for 1 year. Christoph, for 1 year. Yes, please. For 1 year. You are likely to get it at 300. That is the average or the minimum amount I have ever heard. Adam, for instance, we have the river close to some of the land. So if you are lucky to get a land that is closer to the river, maybe you pay more. So please don't do your budget. So I am telling you, don't do your budget per what I am saying. It can be 300 cedis for a year or more. So just do your budgets in that order. Okay? And so, sorry, there is a delay between my question and your talk. Okay. Yes, please, I've heard you. So it's between that amount, okay? And like I'm saying, you cannot cultivate, there are things you cannot cultivate. How much per acre for land for next to a river? Okay, so Spare Warrior, the last time I checked, lands that are closer to the river side, it was as high as 1,000 Ghana cedi. 1,000 Ghana cedi, because it is assumed by the landowners that you don't have problem with irrigation. You just have to buy the tubes and the machine, okay, the irrigation pump machine. You connect it and then you can start, irrigating your farm. Yes, Spare Warrior, per year. Yes, lands around Adan that are closer to the river side, you are likely to pay 1,000 Ghana cedi because it is very close. Those that are upward, that is not closer to the river side, it means that the farmer is even going to struggle to find a way of irrigating the farm, because here in Ghana, one of the challenges of farmers are irrigation. And if you watch most of my interview, what is the maximum amount per year that you are aware of? Yes. So I'm saying the location of the land determines how much you will pay. From what I have heard in my interviews or in my discussions with the farmers, I have heard them say that from 300 Ghana cedi and above. However, in Adan, there are some land that are closer to the river, which make it easier for you to irrigate your farm. It means when you get the tubes and the machine, you are easy or you're ready to go to do your irrigation. So it is a bit expensive. So for a whole year, you are likely to pay 1,000 or less. So if you are ready, you need my services. I charge just a token to make all these enquiries for you. When you get everything you need and you arrive in Ghana, just call me. I will be at your service and help you through all the process. Yes. And so we were on workers, people who work in the farm. The truth of the matter is that it is hard to get workers, committed workers. Most of these workers too, we get them from Burkina Faso. Thank you. There are some lands near Tamale, near river. Haha, thank you. Thank you to Christoph. So most of the workers too, we get them from Burkina Faso. So you would also want to consider that if your workers are from that far, perhaps you need to have a farmhouse. Yes, if you have, let's say, a 10, 5 or 20 acre land for farming, you want to build a small farmhouse for these workers so that at least they will stay on the farm and then take care of the farm for you, so they will not be going and coming, going and coming. It makes their work very, very easy. So that is it about laborers. And then the other part has to do with marketing. I'm sure you've watched my interviews and you know that marketing is a bit challenging. So there's absolutely no way to actually buy and own land myself as a foreigner. Oh no, there are lands that the owners are willing to sell outright. We just have to conduct our search. Okay? We just have to conduct our search. We just have to ask the lands that are available for sale and not for, let's say, renting. So it's possible. Don't think about that at all. You are far away. I don't know where you are, but if you come to Ghana, just one of these holidays, you should try and come down. When you come to Ghana, we can make this checks. Okay, there are lands that are sold outrightly. Okay, so don't assume that it is all for lease. So let's talk about the marketing bits. You should know that one of the main challenge of our farmers in Ghana is marketing. Marketing. Before you start cultivation, I'm from Germany, was in Ghana in 2019, want to come back soon. I'm waiting for you, you should come. I will meet you when you come around. All right, so you have to make sure that you make your checks. Are you cultivating vegetables? Okay, is it fruit you're cultivating or planting? Who are you going to sell to? We have a lot of supermarkets that are looking for organic produce to buy. So before you even, after you have acquired your land and you know what you want to cultivate, make sure you go to what is the unit of land. These prices are related to acre or hectare. Okay, so the lands are measured in acres. Okay, they are measured in acres. 1 acre, 2 acre, 3 acre, 4 acre, 5 acre, all the way to how many acres you want. It is your bottom, your pockets. Your budget should be what you should be concerned about. So it's measured in 1 acre. If you want 1 acre to lease for a year, they will tell you the price. You pay. The following year, you renew. That is if you want to lease yours or rent it for just a year. The next year, the landowner will come. Do you want to renew or you want to end it here? It's all, the ball is at your court. You determine how you want to go about it. So marketing, when you come, you should make sure you make your checks. Don't come and say, Enyonam said that, come and invest in agriculture in Ghana. I came to cultivate spring onion or cucumber and I didn't get market. Please, when you come, make sure you have conduct market research. Make sure you have people who are on standby to buy from you. If you want to do business with the shopping malls, make sure you visit all the shopping malls. Ask for their requirements, what kind of produce they buy. Is it organic or inorganic? So that you would know that when I harvest my cucumber, it's going straight into the supermarket. You take your money and then you go. There's no problem. there is no headache, because there are some goods that are very perishable. Perishable produce like tomatoes. If you don't have ready markets, do not start planting or cultivating, because you harvest it within few days, it start rotting. If you don't have processing machine or factory to process or to buy from you and process into tin tomatoes, then my brother, my dearest dear, you would waste money. So make sure that you do your market research, you have a ready market, and then you can go ahead and start your farming. The last bit I want us to touch on has to do with is the organic produce market growing or even higher demand than conventional produce? So yes, the organic market is growing because of health issues. People are now concerned about what they consume, because some, in every sector we have people who will not abide to the norm, the rules and regulations. The MOFA or agric officers will do their errands. They will go and do the training, the lecturing, and talking about the quantity of pesticide or fertilizer or input for you to use. But in the absence of the MOFA officer, the farmer in a hurry to harvest and sell might do the otherwise. So most of the shopping malls I know, they are very much particular about the kind of produce you are bringing. They'll tell you if it is organic, they buy from you. If it's not organic, they also buy. So they are very specific. With the shopping malls, they are very specific. In the open markets, you're good to go. You can sell, you can go and sell. Who will check if it is organic or inorganic? So it depends who you want to trade with. It depends who you want to do business with. Okay, so you would have to decide who among these two you want to do business with. The next one has to do with, there is this institution, I've interviewed them, I will be uploading it soon, called Ghana Commodity Exchange. Yeah, so basically what they do is they trade on behalf of farmers. So some of the crops or produce they trade on Ghana Commodity Exchange. You want to read about them after this presentation. They trade sesame seed, rice, millets, sorghum, cocoa, cashew. This is some of the things that Ghana Commodity Exchange trade on behalf of farmers. Is there an official license certification for organic like we have here in Europe? Of course, of course, of course, of course. Since you want to do business with these big institutions like the malls I mentioned, and probably you were hoping to take your goods outside Ghana to go and sell. Most of the time we have problems when our produce are sent to the European markets. Most of the times it is brought back because it does not meet the standard. So my dear, if you come back from Germany and you are in Ghana and you acquire your land, you decide on what to cultivate, I'll take you around, so make the necessary checks on which institution you can get your license from that can even test the standard or the quality of the crops the produce you're harvesting, so that selling it becomes easier for you. So like I'm saying, you can also trade with Ghana Commodity Exchange. They have warehouse in some of the regions. We have to make our enquiries. You visit the warehouse, you register with them. When you bring the produce, being it cashew, millet, sorghum, rice, they test this. They have a standard. So before you join the number of farmers they do business with, they have the standard, the quality, the moisture, the test, everything. They will tell you all the requirements you need to meet. And when you harvest, you take it to their warehouse. They'll keep it there. When it's time for trading, you trade. It can be done in any place at the comfort of your home, wherever you are. Then you can do your trade. Leslie Kujo, I'll be in Ghana later this year. I want to come and establish a greenhouse farm. I want to know if you do consult on that. Of course. So one of the systems we have adapted, we have adapted in recent times in Ghana is the greenhouse farming. Yes, we are doing a lot of greenhouse farming in recent times, especially for vegetable cultivation, because it is the duration is very limited. We have 2 months, 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. So the rains are not assured now because of the climate change issues that we are dealing with. So if you have the resource, you buy your land and you want to go into greenhouse, why not? I've interviewed a gentleman. You want to check that interview on the Ghanaian Farmer channel. Check it out. And also, hi, do you know the process of exporting produce if one has a market? So the process, no, let me finish with the greenhouse gentleman, Leslie. So yes, Leslie, when you have your land, you can just go ahead and build the structure. If you are buying the materials from abroad and bringing it down to Ghana, it's cool. But other than that, there is somebody who builds the structure. Okay, I'll introduce you to him. He'll give you a very good service. You'd love to work with him. So yes, that can be done. Greenhouse is something that is welcome. Yes. So process of exports, and if one has market abroad, can you talk about rearing animals and how? Yeah. So with processing and selling outside, it depends on what you want to process. Okay, it depends on what you want to process. So let's say orange juice, for instance. You know the standard in the European markets. I don't know where you want to sell, but you know the standard. If you're able to get their standard and you come to Ghana, after you have established your factory, that is, you have your land, you've established your factory, you might even want to partner one district, one factory, so that your taxes would be minimized. And then when you do the production, you have to go to Food and Drugs Board for them to test the standard and the quality, if it meets that market. And we have an association that give license to their members. You have to join an association, exporters and importers. We have association here in Ghana. You would have to join them so you can have their license, and then you can be able to do your export. What would you say? All right, so somebody is asking if I can talk about animal rearing. Yes, so when it comes to livestock is also done here in Ghana. So we do poultry a lot, we do goats, we do sheep, we do pork, pig. Yes, we do pig, we do turkey, and a few others. Livestock is also very, very, very occupied. It's a good market. But I would, if you ask me to choose, I'll go for pig farming. I'll go for pig farming because pig is highly consumed in Ghana. Ghana for paye pepper konam. We love to enjoy our pork because whether it's steamed, it is fried or grilled or anything, we love to enjoy our pork. You know what? At times, weekends, when you go to pork joints in Ghana, you'll be marveled. You'll be amazed at the queue, of people, the number of people who are lined up and want to buy pork meats. So yes, I will stress on pork, but if you want to do pork, you can do pork in urban areas because of the noise they make. Yes, so you have to go outskirts, get a place to do your pork. And the feeding too, pigs eat a lot, so that's a lot of investment. But the interesting part is that even though it takes a lot of money, it also gives you a lot in return. Pig, when they are giving birth, the first time you're likely to get 8, subsequently you can get 10 and above. Yes, one pig. can give you that much. So it's all about, from the onset, it's about the feeding. But for marketing, you have no problem or bad problem. You don't have problem. Now we enjoy our poultry best too, but it looks like we do a lot of the one we import from abroad. Yes. So if you're doing the local one here, you have to find strategic means to market it. And we do turkey, but turkey is occasional. People consume turkey, but turkey is occasional. So you want to target the Easter festivity. Easter is around the corner. I think next month, Easter is around the corner. And then Christmas as well. People buy turkey. Guinea fowl. Yes, we also consume a lot of guinea fowl. So guinea fowl too is not a bad one to consider. We love our meat, so yes, cow too is not a bad option at all. So yes, that's it about the bit about livestock. You don't have problem. As for poultry, you need to be concerned about the annual outbreak, the outbreak of birds disease. So you need to be very, very strict with your vaccination, the keeping the pen very clean. I mean the hen coop, you have to keep it very clean. You make sure that you always have your veterinary officer coming by to check so that the least suspicion care of. If not, you would lose all your birds when the outbreak comes around. So that is what you have to be concerned about. Every sector have their challenge. So I will not say this sector is good, this sector is not good. No. Every sector is good, but you just have to take into consideration the little challenges that are associated with this sector. And you'll be good to go. Trust me. Agriculture sector or the space is one sector that if you invest and you keep focused and you keep an eye on it, you adhere to all the agronomy practices, you would enjoy. You enjoy it, so I encourage you to do that. So in the absence of any question, I guess we'll wrap it up or we call it a good evening. Great, thanks for the advice. Sharp Seed, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much as well. With taxes, I cannot determine how much you would be charged, being a factory you are building, being it you are importing something into the country or whatever it is. But with taxes, it is the institutions that determines how much they would charge for it, whatever it is that you're getting yourself involved in. If it's about testing your dues to determine the quality and also if it meets the standard, that is also solely done by Food and Drugs Board. I cannot sit here and give you a figure. I will not do that because I don't work with them. It varies. The services varies and the charges varies as well. So hey, let's continue this online. If you have further questions, you can share them to me. I would gladly answer you. But I think we'll do this more often so that I can see all my wonderful, amazing people who have subscribed to my channel. I love you all. I am so grateful for your time and thank you for subscribing to my channel. I want you to introduce my channel to other people who are interested in agriculture. Maybe through you sharing the link, somebody would want to, subscribe, learn a few things, and be encouraged to venture into agriculture. But Ghana is a very peaceful place. We have interesting tourist attractions. We have beautiful women. If you are not married, come to Ghana and marry. Yes, come to Ghana and marry. Okay? So, thank you so much. I am Sharp Seed. I'm super proud of you too. Thank you for making time with me. We'll do this again. I'll surely put the updates there. And then, yes. Yes. Thank you so much, guys. I love you all. Enjoy your evening. It's a holiday in Ghana. I mean, we are going to bed and we'll continue working tomorrow. And tomorrow happens to be International Women's Day. I want to wish happy Women's Day, International Women's Day to all women across the globe. doing amazing things, breaking the bias. That's a theme for this year. Thank you so much for supporting your husbands, for supporting the family, for making a change and creating an impact in your community. God bless you. I am super proud of all my women and all the husbands on this platform. Say you love your wives. I mean, please, tomorrow, don't let them work. Give her a good treat. We the single ones, well, we'll see how we'll manage. Eh? All right, so have a good evening, and it's a bye for now from me here in Ghana. Thank you. Bye bye.